Today, we're diving deep into the incredible ways your mind can actually shape your reality. We're talking about how your thoughts, your beliefs, even your imagination can alter the way you experience the world around you. We're going to break down 10 ways this happens, and trust me, once you understand this stuff, you can start to use it to your advantage. So buckle up, grab your thinking cap, and let's get into it. All right, first up, let's talk about perception. Think of your senses like these data collectors, right? Your eyes, ears, nose, they're constantly pulling in information from the world around you. But here's the kicker. Your mind doesn't just passively take in this data. It processes it, filters it, and interprets it based on your own personal experiences, beliefs, and expectations. It's like, imagine you're walking through the woods and you see a bear. Now, some people might freak out, right? They see danger, they see a threat. But someone else might see the same bear and be totally fascinated. They see beauty, they see a part of nature. Same bear, two completely different realities. Why? Because their minds are interpreting the data differently based on their individual experiences and beliefs. It's wild, man, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, let's talk about beliefs, because this is where things get really interesting. What you believe to be true about yourself, about the world, about anything, has a powerful influence on how you perceive and react to situations. It's like, if you believe you're capable of achieving great things, you're more likely to take risks, to put yourself out there, to actually make those things happen. But if you're walking around with this limiting belief that you're not good enough or you're not worthy, guess what? You're probably going to sabotage yourself without even realizing it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, man. If you believe the world is a scary, dangerous place, you're going to see threats everywhere. But if you believe the world is full of good people and opportunities, you're going to be more open to connecting with others, to taking chances, to experiencing all the good stuff life has to offer. Your beliefs shape your reality, plain and simple. Okay, so we've talked about perception, we've talked about beliefs. Now let's get into some of the mental shortcuts your brain uses to make sense of the world. Cognitive biases. These biases are like these ingrained patterns of thinking that can sometimes lead to errors in judgment, and they can really mess with your perception of reality. One of the most common ones is confirmation bias. This is where you tend to favor information that confirms your existing beliefs, even if that information is biased or incomplete. Another big one is the availability heuristic. This is where you rely too heavily on information that's easily available to you, even if it's not necessarily the most accurate or representative. Like, if you see a bunch of news stories about shark attacks, you might start to believe that shark attacks are super common, even though the odds of actually being attacked by a shark are incredibly low. These cognitive biases, they're everywhere, man. Let's talk about emotions, because these bad boys can really color your perception of reality. Think about it. When you're feeling happy, the world just seems brighter, right? Everything is awesome. You're more likely to see the good in people, to focus on the positive aspects of your life. But when you're feeling down, anxious, or stressed out, it's like the whole world dims. You're more likely to dwell on the negative, to see threats where there are none, to interpret situations in a more pessimistic light. Your emotions shape your reality, but your reality can also shape your emotions. So it's important to be mindful of your emotional state and to cultivate positive emotions as much as possible. Now, let's talk about memory, because this is where things get really trippy. You might think of your memory like a video recorder, right? Accurately capturing and storing every detail of your experiences. But here's the thing, memory is not nearly as reliable as you might think. It's more like a Wikipedia page, constantly being edited and rewritten every time you access it. Every time you recall a memory, you're not actually accessing the original event. You're accessing your last recollection of that event, which is influenced by your current emotions, beliefs, and experiences. So yeah, memory is a fickle thing, man. Let's talk about attention, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. What you choose to pay attention to has a huge impact on your reality. Think about it. If you're constantly focusing on the negative aspects of your life, on all the things that are wrong, on all the things you don't have, guess what? You're going to perceive your reality as being pretty damn negative. But if you make a conscious effort to focus on the positive, to appreciate the good things in your life, to notice the beauty all around you, your reality will shift accordingly. It's like that old saying, what you focus on expands. Your attention is a powerful tool. You can use it to focus on the good, to amplify the positive, to create a reality that you actually want to live in. Now let's talk about language and thought, because the words we use to describe our experiences actually shape our understanding of those experiences. Think about it. If you stub your toe and you yell out, "This is the worst day ever," you're framing that experience in a very negative light. But if you stub your toe and you just laugh it off, you're not giving it that same power over your emotional state. The language we use to describe ourselves, our experiences, and the world around us can have a profound impact on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's like, if you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you're going to start to believe it. But if you start to use more positive self-talk, if you start to focus on your strengths and your accomplishments, you're going to start to see yourself in a more positive light. So pay attention to the words you use, man. Let's talk about social influence, because we're all influenced by the people around us, whether we realize it or not. Our families, friends, colleagues, the media we consume, they all shape our perceptions, our beliefs, and our values. Think about it. If you grew up in a family where everyone was super health conscious, you're probably more likely to adopt those same healthy habits. But if you grew up in a family where everyone smoked and ate fast food every day, you might not even realize how unhealthy those habits are until you're older. And then there's social media, man. It's important to be aware of the influence that others have on our thinking, and to be willing to question our beliefs, especially if they're based on what we've been told rather than on our own experiences. Let's talk about expectations, because what you expect to happen can actually influence what does happen. This is the power of the placebo effect, man. Studies have shown that people who believe they're receiving a treatment, even if it's just a sugar pill, can experience real physiological changes. Their bodies actually respond to their beliefs. If you go into a job interview expecting to fail, you're probably not going to perform your best. But if you go into that same interview with confidence, believing that you're the right person for the job, you're more likely to nail it. Your expectations set the stage for your reality. Let's talk about visualization and imagination, because this is where things get really powerful. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and the ability to visualize, to create mental images and scenarios, can actually impact your real-life experiences. Athletes do this all the time, man. They visualize themselves performing at their best, and it actually helps them to improve their performance in real life. And it's not just athletes. Musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, they all use visualization to achieve their goals. When you visualize something, you're essentially creating a blueprint for your subconscious mind to follow. So don't underestimate the power of visualization, man. Let's talk about mindfulness, because in a world that's constantly trying to distract you, being present and aware of your thoughts and feelings is more important than ever. Mindfulness is all about paying attention to the present moment, without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. When you're mindful, you're more aware of your internal state, which allows you to make conscious choices about how you want to respond to situations. Instead of reacting automatically, You can pause, you can breathe, you can choose a more skillful response. Mindfulness is like a muscle, man. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Finally, let's talk about neuroplasticity, because this is the science behind how your mind can actually change your brain. For a long time, scientists believed that the brain was fixed after a certain age. But we now know that the brain is constantly changing and adapting throughout our lives. And this is due to neuroplasticity. Every time you learn something new, every time you have a new experience, you're actually rewiring your brain. You're creating new neural pathways and strengthening existing ones. This is why it's so important to challenge yourself, to step outside of your comfort zone, to expose yourself to new ideas and experiences. The more you do this, the more you're shaping your brain and ultimately shaping your reality. So there you have it, folks. Hey, thanks for sticking with me through that, folks. It's some trippy stuff, right? Understanding how your mind works, how your thoughts and beliefs can actually shape your reality, it's like unlocking a whole new level of personal power. Once you start to see the connection between your thoughts and your experiences, you can start to make conscious choices that lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content. Until next time.